All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to try and solve a mystery today. One that might feel, super personal to you. And that is, why do you feel absolutely nothing when it seems like the entire world is freaking out over some new trend, a big game, or that gadget everyone just has to have?
You know the feeling, right? Your friends are all losing their minds over a TV show finale. The office is just buzzing about some new product, but you just don't feel it. And it's not like you're trying to be difficult, you just genuinely don't get the hype. Well, it turns out there's a really fascinating reason for that, and it's all in your head.
So, to figure out why you march to the beat of your own drum, we first have to understand the powerful force that keeps most people marching in lockstep. You can think of it as like the social default setting for humanity.
And that force? It actually has a name: normative social influence. The easiest way to think about it is like social gravity. It's that deep, instinctual pull we all have to just agree with the group, to fit in, be liked, and definitely to avoid being the odd one out. And hey, it makes sense from an evolutionary point of view, right? Sticking with the tribe literally meant survival. For most people, this is the main thing driving their social choices.
So what this does is it basically lays out two different paths. On one side, you've got the crowd. They're totally driven by that social influence, always looking for that external thumbs up. But on the other side, there's the individual, and that person is guided by something called internal validation, a personal, inside standard of what's good or valuable. And I'm willing to bet that second path is probably where we're going to find.
So what does this mean for you? Well, if that social gravity doesn't have a strong pull on you, it means your sense of direction has to be coming from somewhere else. And that somewhere else is inside.
And boom, here it is. This is basically your operating system. It's internal validation. You don't need the crowd to tell you what's cool, what's good, or what's worth your time, because you've already got a well-developed system for that inside your own head. You are your own source of approval. This is the first really big piece of the puzzle right here.
Okay, so what is it that powers this internal compass of yours? Let's kind of get under the hood and unpack the mechanics behind this whole independent mindset. This is where we really get into the why of it all.
It all starts with this idea called social identity dependence. Now that sounds complicated, but it's not. Just think of it as how much your answer to the question, who am I, depends on the groups you're a part of. For a lot of people, being a fan of a sports team or working at a certain company is a huge part of their identity. And this is your superpower. If you couldn't care less about the hype, it's very likely because you have low social identity dependence. And let me be clear, that is not a flaw. It is a genuine strength. It means your sense of self is solid. It doesn't need a group to feel whole.
So what does this actually look like in day-to-day life? Just see if any of this rings a bell. You tend to trust your own principles more than the group's opinion. You pretty much naturally resist the pull of whatever's trendy. And the whole idea of just fitting in, it's not really a big priority for you. Your choices are, well, your own.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It is the absolute mantra of an internally validated person. The value of something isn't about its popularity, it's about how it connects to you personally. The question you're always asking is, yeah, but is it right for me?
Now, this way of thinking, it doesn't just affect your social life. It completely changes how you interact with the world, especially when it comes to the choices you're making every single day.
So here's the bottom line, the real difference in decision-making. While an image-driven person is asking if a product is trendy, you're asking, does it actually work? They're focused on the brand, you're focused on the performance. You're not buying the sizzle, you're buying the steak, because you've decided for yourself that the steak is what really matters.
So let's pull all these threads together now, because what might feel like you're just disconnected from the crowd is actually a really powerful and unique psychological advantage. It's time to kind of reframe how you see this whole thing.
This right here is the absolute key. The fact that you don't follow the hype isn't about apathy. It's not a sign that you're cold or that you're antisocial. No way. It's proof that your internal guidance system, your own personal compass, is stronger and more reliable than the noisy pull of the crowd.
So, what's the big takeaway for you? It means you have this deep, baked-in trust in your own judgment. It means you value what something does over what it looks like. And maybe most importantly, your independence isn't some weird quirk. It's a clear, undeniable sign of psychological strength. So, let's just end on this thought. If you start to see your independence not as something that makes you different, but as a tool for navigating the world with clarity and with purpose, then the only question left is, how are you going to use it?